I hope this is back on track. Can you guys confirm that sound is working well now? Welcome. Can you hear the music? Because I think desktop sound is still not on. Can you guys hear the music? Is the music on? So that I know that all music is going well. Welcome. That's good. That's cool. Cool. Let's begin what's happening in the market now. If you guys look at it, you can see that gold early, there was a bounce from this daily support level. Now, I was looking at the bigger picture always as in the beginning. From the weekly, we can see the market initially drop here to this weekly low and bounce back to the upside for a pullback here. This is the weekly low and the daily price action here. Today's market once open from this support level, there is a complete break to the upside on gold. Now this is the daily price action where there is a bounce back to the upside on the daily time frame on gold. And if you look at the 4 hour here, what do you see? That this is the intraday time frame, 4 hour support. The previous session, there is a 4 hour bullish price action here. That candle after cross of this high, it's now getting that complete rejection back below here. This is where we need to look at as the market. If you look at this structure formation on gold here in this lower time frame 4 hour chart here, with this 4 hour structure formation on gold from this level, you have seen the bounce back to the upside and then rejection back below in this market. With this rejection on gold, as the market is coming back below to the major direction here, expecting that this market potentially continue to trend down here. This is the 15 minutes price action. We can see there is a rejection from the top. If you look at the daily here, you can see that this is the daily move from this high, and with this daily move, the price potentially coming back to this daily support level. Now looking at the 15 minutes again, we can see that this market lower time frame, there is an inverted head and shoulder in that area that we can see. And with this inverted head and shoulder, the price has moved back to the upside here. That being said, what we can see in this market, the market potentially to now drop back to this daily support, or it could continue to rise again. As we can see that the market from the longer term is bull market. From the daily, the price today, once it opened, it started to bounce here. Today's bias, if the price is dropping back to this daily low here, once the market dropped to the daily low, we can look for that entry in this market. Let's wait to see. It's always a good idea is to be last in trading. Those who are coming in the last, that have the additional advantage, because smart money trades in the last. When all the orders in the market from the retail trader, smart money open position in the market. And as a retail trader, the best way is to trade the market is to trade with the smart money, trade with the trend where the market is in fact heading in the major direction. You can see that there is a long consolidation and also the reversal pattern formation. This kind of market structure, it's a very large head and shoulder formation on 15 minutes. If you look at here, you can see that it's a very large head and shoulder, and that head and shoulder, such a big head and shoulder, is potentially an uptrend continuation again. And therefore, if the market dropping down to the daily low here, this is the daily support, is where a possible entry again for us to look for. As long-term picture here is bullish. If you look at here, do you see that from the daily, from here, from this support level, this is the daily support, there is a strong breakout followed by this narrow pullback, and you can see another breakout. We can see that a complete break from this high with this one single daily breakdown completely has broken this entire structure here, followed by we see previous day a pin bar. Now today the market from this support level that we can see, it started to move back to the upside here. Therefore, looking forward to see the market is coming back below this liquidity zone here. This is an important support. This is the previous session's liquidity zone on gold, and with the liquidity zone, expecting the market to trend back below and then to return again to the major direction. This is current daily low. This is where I'm looking at possible buy entry once the market managed to break that structure, and we can look for potential entry in this market. This is what we're looking at for this price to potentially move back to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. That's what we're looking at for this price to possibly to give us an entry to the direction of the trend. Looking at the 4 hour again, there's a bullish move followed by, you can see there is a couple of narrower red candle, couple of dodges here, and from these dodges expecting the market to retest and then to return again to the major direction of the trend. So therefore, this support on gold that we can see on the daily is quite important. 4 hour price action that you can see after the previous session's green candle, this session the market initially has gone up, break that high, and slowly now drop to that support. It didn't test this key level. This is a key level here. If you look at here, you can see that this red candle is an order block. It's a liquidity candle. What is liquidity? Liquidity is the fuel of the market. The price moves from liquidity to liquidity, as this is where the smart money will be interested to buy, and once the market coming for that level to retest, we can look for that possible entry in this market. Now lower time frame here, it's an uptrend. Here is a previous structure. This is where the market previously grabbed liquidity. How do you know that the previous session the market grabbed that liquidity in that area? Let's understand that. Once you understand that, it becomes definitely much easier for you to catch a move based on this smart money trading. Welcome. Yes, welcome. Gold, Gbpusd. Anyone looking at other than gold? We are looking at gold at the moment, and there is also euro dollar and British pound US dollar we'll be looking at later in this session as well. Also, you can look at dollar yen. There is a pretty significant move on dollar yen as well. If you look at here, you can see that this is a dollar yen price where the market has made very stronger move on dollar yen as well. Looking at here, if you look at market has crossed that from 10 and 20 MA, and it's pretty sharp move. Dollar yen. So looking back again gold, and then we will be going back to the currencies. Looking at gold here as coming up, this is a very important day. Let's look at also the news and a little bit on the calendar, because calendar has definitely greater impact in this market now, because or more often when the data coming on dollar as well as AUD, that will have an impact on gold as well as the dollar pair. So looking at, if you look at the Thursday, today's Wednesday, so it's a preparation for tomorrow's market. Tomorrow coming up 11:30 a.m. in my zone, which is AUD, employment change and unemployment rate on AUD, and followed by 4 p.m. GDP. 10:30 p.m. in my zone, coming up PPI. Tomorrow is a big day, and today is also a big day because it's a preparation for tomorrow. So this week is pretty compact with quite a few high impact news that definitely will get a reaction in the market. So that being said, let's look at again on gold. First of all, we have an idea about the market events. Okay, so events are very important because the market more often move based on event are very important. If you're a complete beginner, this is a free website where you can find events coming up. And why it is important to look at event is because, can you tell me why event is important? Let me see how many of you are thinking that in terms of fundamental. More often you probably have heard of the fundamental, how to use the fundamental in trading, right? I saw that some people saying, okay, learn microeconomics, then macroeconomics, and then learn the interest rate decision, how they are made. In fact, as a short-term trader, interest rate decision will not give you much advantage as a short-term trader. If you're a long-term investor, yes, this is something you can look at. But for the short-term trader, we are trading on 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, interest rate decision will not give you much advantage because it happens before it happens. This is what we will be discussing here. I'll be explaining how this data as a fundamental truly impact the market and how you can, as a short-term trader, use this data, use this event, in fact, properly in your trading in the right way. Stay tuned for that. But before, I'd like to say that, what do you think about the event? How they has impacted the market? Do you think event creates new trend or change of trend, or just during the event you can open position? What are the role of this event as a trader, or how they impact the market that you will be looking at? Now I'll be waiting for a few feedback, then we'll go back to that event, how we can trade them. In fact, it's almost every day, few times in a week. If you understand that, only by understanding it, you can change your trading results dramatically higher, because around those events the market moves. But how does that move? Does that move after the event or before the event? When in fact happens, I'll show you exactly in the chart. Before we go to that, let's now look at on gold, that how the market is evolving. Again, we see there is a 15 minutes candle closed with a long wick rejection, which is basically showing possible further downside here on gold. And I'm looking at the 5 minutes as well. You can see the price has moved back again to the upside to this key level, and from this zone the price is dropping back down here with a 30 minutes bearish engulfer formation, which is giving a possibility for the market to continue to drop here to this, potentially to this order block or to this daily support. It's a downtrend, and we may see that potential trend continuation here. From the 1 hour, we can see the price is coming back down in this area. So as this market trending here, it's a downtrend. We see there is a head and shoulder and possibility for the price to drop past this point below 3352 or even back below. 4-hour chart, that you can see the market after cross of this high, it's coming back also, and that drop may lead that price even back to this daily support level. So today's level that we are looking at 334748 is the daily support, and as the market has made already initial bounce back to the upside on the daily, we are looking at on gold for a potential bounce in this market. That's what we are looking at to see potential trading opportunity, and let's wait to see how we can find that entry in this market. Here is the bearish move that you can see on the lower time frame, and that bearish move could lead that price back to this daily support here, where there is a fair value gap in that area. And in the meantime, guys, I hope that you are enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Waiting on that market to potentially shift back to this level here. It is here so far in that area bear market. We see that after this consolidation it bounced back to the upside. Now for us to consider that the market has changed the trend, we need to see the price has got that rejection back again from this daily support level. I'm deleting again all those lines to make it easy to read here. Now you can see that this is the daily market structure, and in that daily drop we see the market has made its move back to the upside. This is daily support level, this is daily low here. Two key daily level is where we are looking at possible entry. Now looking at the 30 minutes in this area here, we can see the market is showing possible drop back below here on the lower time frame. And if you look at the 1 hour chart here, you can see that the market in this 1 hour price action possibly to coming here to this level, and that's the daily support level. If you look at the 4 hour again, which is an important 4 hour support level here, and as the price is coming back to that level from this zone, this is where there is a liquidity area. As there is an inverted head and shoulder, if you look at the lower time frame, you can spot that inverted head and shoulder, expecting the market to retest and then to trend in this area to continue to rise here to create a new higher high in this market. Looking at to see here, as if you look at here, you can see the price is grabbing liquidity from the top, dropping down, grabbing liquidity from the top, dropping down. We may see the price to potentially trend down here, breaking that low to create a new lower low in this market. And here is the price is showing that pattern. We could see that the market potentially to continue to drop here in that area. And slowly it's trying to push back here, and here is the price action that you can see in this area. We saw there was a liquidity grab drop, and the market is maintaining that downtrending structure here. From the lower time frame and from the intraday time frame. There's a doji on the 5 minutes, and this is the daily low here that we are seeing, that the market either to test the daily low at 3347. That's where you can look for a buy entry, because today's market so far we have seen already has made its initial bounce back to the upside, which is a sign that this market to remain bullish to the upside here. And looking at this lower time frame, if you look at the 5 minutes, that you can see with this liquidity grab, a drop back below, moving back to the upside, the market is slowly, you can see there's a doji here, and that doji we might see the price to break that high and then to return back again to this support level. Here is the structure formation, expecting the market to potentially continue to drop here, and this is an important support level here, and possibly to come back below to create a new lower low in this market. Here is, you can see that from the 4-hour chart here, after cross of this high, the market slowly trying to build that pressure back below in this area. There is the doji, and the market structure forming as it is grabbing liquidity from the top. Highly likely we could see the price to come back here to 335253 or below this level for another potential rejection back below. Though we see here a sideways movement in this market. How to start buy or sell? How to start buy or sell? You mean when to buy or sell? I believe this is what you mean, right? So the buy or sell, you need to understand the market structure and the price action. This is the first question that every trader asks when they begin, especially beginner or an intermediate trader, when to buy or when to sell. The best thing with that as a trader, we as a CFD trader, is that we can buy or we can sell as we have leverage. And if you look at here on this market, to buy you need to find an uptrending market, and to sell you need to find a downtrending market. What's your opinion on COT report? What's your opinion on COT report? I would like to know, you guys, what do you think about the COT report? So share your thought on about, or what's your opinion on COT report? Does that really beneficial to you, or it is something you shouldn't use or you should be using? Share your thought and opinion. I would like to see how many members are using COT report, and if you need more information we can decide, or your thought and opinion important. Good morning everyone. So I'm leaving. I have just received a call. My mom got a. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, definitely. This is something you should be taking care of. Okay, now we can see the market slowly trying to drop back below here from this key level, right? Now it's started to break below. That's what we are discussing about in the past. Now slowly 1 minute price action here, head and shoulder formation, and that head and shoulder may lead the price back below from the 1 hour here. We are almost nearly closing to this candle on the 1 hour chart, as the market has made its initial drop here to this support level, expecting that the market to drop to this lower time frame support. And 30 minutes we can see a doji formation, 15 minutes as well we can see there is another doji formation here, and the 5 minutes as well we can see the market is maintaining that downtrending market structure in this area. Now looking at here, the bigger picture always must be fused or combined with the smaller picture. That's where the secret of becoming a better trader, and that's where many traders fail to understand the market, is because they only look at the one time frame. You need to look at the multiple time frame. Multiple time frame is key to become better as a trader. Now we are talking about that on the event, right? Data coming up, employment change, unemployment rate on AUD, and then core PPI on dollar. Yes. So with that on the data, how does that impact or affect the market that we can use or understand? Now when you are looking at those data, guys, look at something here. Always look at the more information. You can see that on the right side, right? Let's go to the past. This will change the way you look at the market and change the way you look at the data. Let's look at the non-farm employment change, which is the biggest one over the month that you can see. Now what do you see here? This is very important to know that and understand. You see, before the data come, there's a forecast. Okay, we more often don't pay attention to the forecast. We always look at the current data, what has come out of the press or in the market. But before coming out, there is a forecast, right? That's the key here. So what happened? This forecast made almost a quarter ago, right? It's not today, it's a couple of months ago the forecast is made. So the forecast means that prediction about the data, and when the forecast is made, the market trade based on that forecast. So that means traders trading or investor investing based on that forecast, because there is no data has come out. The forecast is what is the benchmark of the market, and when the event happen, you'll see that after the news there is a new trading opportunity arises. The market goes to a new level where it becomes very good asset to buy or sell, is because those events are catalyst. We cannot expect directly to change trend, though it happens sometime, but they are more of catalyst to bring the price to its true intrinsic value, right? So what is an intrinsic value of an asset? So let's understand it. So in terms of, if you look at the stock here, the intrinsic value measures company share price was based on objective fundamental factors such as cash flow, asset and earning rather than sentiment. A stock may present buying prospect if its market price falls below its intrinsic value or selling opportunity when it trades above. That's where you need to pay attention when there is an event. You see, this is where this news events helps us to get understanding, guys. These are the real way to trade the market. You can see that those events that you can see, right? So you see that there is a news event, there's a big data has come out. These are catalysts to bring that price to its intrinsic value. Now the market more often trade above or below its true intrinsic value more often, and those catalysts bring that price to a level where you are ready to again go long or short for a bigger move. So those events helps us to find those levels that more often is not available in the market. So the data, when there is a coming up in the market, you'll see the market rearrange itself again for those event, and you can find those reflection almost 24 hours earlier than the news. Keep in mind that there are some ways you can understand it. If you see that there is a massive false breakout before the event, the market may continue to drop. That means if you see before the event the market is creating a lot of false breakout at the top, chances that the market will fall down here, because the market is preparing for a move in one direction by gathering liquidity. That is how you can understand those even and trade them based on that. I hope that is giving you a clear information. More we can understand it from the market, how the event coming and how the market structure is changing its direction. You can see this is the NFP move, and then the market has made its move back to this level, coming back again to the support level. So now let's see here from this intraday, as we have seen the price has come back here to this order block, bounce back to the upside. Currently, as a short-term trader, we are looking at the lower time frame price action for an entry. As this week coming later, PPI and how that event is impacting the market here, we need to look at. Let's look at again the daily chart again, and if you look at the daily price action, we can see that the market, after the previous daily doji, today the price again from this support had a break to the upside. We always need to combine the technical with those event, and technical is the key here. Technical is the key, because whatever happening on the fundamental level, it's more often too complex to understand the directional bias, but the technical is very clear to understand potential directional bias. Not certain, but it's very understandable, because technically you can see the information from the candlestick pattern, while fundamental is very difficult, because if interest rate goes up in any instrument, how does that impact the currency is not fixed for each currency. For example, if AUD interest rate increases and JPY interest rate increases, or dollar interest rate increases, there could be very different impact on the currency for the same event. You see, this is where you need to understand. That's why the same decision could have a completely different impact on the currency, as currency depends, the strength of currency depends on many factors, right? Each country has, some country's currency is mostly dependent, or that country has a very higher export. So there, if you look at, some country export a lot, some country import a lot. So it depends on their policy, right? Internal policy. So interest rate could have a very different impact on the currency depending on which country or which currency that decision has been made, which is very complex as it depends on many other factors. But when you look at the technical, when you look at the chart, the candlestick pattern, how the market is moving, because those candlestick pattern, that technical aspect is the representation of the orders already placed in the market. Because as a retail trader, what we need here is to trade based on smart money. Smart money has all the tools and details to analyze the market from those information that we, for the retail trader, is too complex to analyze. In fact, you don't have to, because we are a short-term retail trader. So as a short-term retail trader, okay, we need to swim in the flow. But in fact, it's a big advantage as a retail trader that doesn't have with the institutional trader. Retail trader has a huge advantage. And if you have a bigger trading account, you can make a huge, if you know how to trade with the smart money. Because when you see that stronger liquidity gap, the liquidity candle formed and is ready to buy or sell, and you can easily track those signals in the market. The only thing that you need to know is the risk management, that's all. But if you're a smart money trader, it's very difficult, because you need to guess that candle. So as a retail trader, you can trade a candle that has been printed already by the smart money. But if you are a smart money trader, then you need to print that candle from air. That means you need to first understand when to enter. So it's a big advantage, and that is why it is easy for the retail trader based on the technical factors that we can see. The only thing that we need to make sure that we are not trading in those events when there is a very high volatility or low volume. I hope that that makes sense. Now you can see that we can easily trade each session from the daily or from the 4 hour, from cross of this any of the sessions low or high. Now you can see this is the previous session's 4 hour candle. This is the daily support, and once the market dropped to that level, okay, this is a big advantage for us to trade this market in that direction. There is a 1 hour candle closing up, 30 minutes doji, 15 minutes bearish engulfer, and the 5 minutes price action showing up here for a possible downtrend here in this market. There is the market, you can see it's forming series of lower high here, and with the 1 hour candle close, expecting it to drop back to this order block. This is current session's high on the 4 hour. There's a 30 minutes candle being closed as well, which is also the 1 hour candle close. If we look at and possible wick fill here, we might see here a possible bounce back to the upside on the 4 hour. This is the 4 hour resistance line. That's the session's open price, and once the market managed to go back here is where you can look for possible sell entry. At the moment we'll be looking for a possible upside here with the candle close. If with the 30 minutes and the 1 hour close the market is managed to bounce back to cross this 1 hour high here, this is the current session's high, that's the current session's 4 hour open price, is where we will be looking for possible sell if the market doesn't drop from this level, which still can possible for the price to drop back from this level to this support level to create a new lower low. And that is where we are looking at. The market is showing its pattern. There might be a head and shoulder formation here. That head and shoulder may lead the price back below here to this level. Gbpjpy sold 3.5 lot at 200.153. Should I book profit or wait? Now Gbpjpy, we saw that there was a, so you're on sell. For our close on GJ, which is pretty sharply bull market, I normally try to avoid selling on a bull market, but depending on what kind of strategy you are using. Going back to gold, there's a candle close here, and that candle close, if we look at the 5 minutes, head and shoulder can give the price back below here to this support level. So if you look at the 1 hour, you can see that possible wick fill here, but before dropping back below possibly to 335253 level. Would like to see if the market is going up for another bounce back to the upside. That's where we can look for sell entry. The way the market structure has formed here, which is bearish price action, possibility to come back here to this support level. Now, as the market is maintaining the downtrending market structure here, we are looking to see the price to grab liquidity and then to trend, continue to drop here. There is a 30 minutes doji candlestick pattern formation here. That is a downtrend. That might lead the price back below here to this support level. With this 1 hour also middleman formation here, giving the market to possibility to come back here to this support level. Now head and shoulder on the 5 minutes in the downtrend, showing the market possibly to trend down further. We will be looking into the entry once we see the price has shown this kind of stronger move back to the upside in the opposite direction of the trend. So this is the 1 hour price action where the price potentially be coming back below to this daily low, and with this 1 hour price action we may see the price to drop well below this level. Now if the coming here the price to this 3347 from the daily point of view, it's a potential buy opportunity for us. So therefore lower time frame we see the downtrend, but the higher time frame is still in an uptrend. So locally we are looking at selling opportunity from this level to 3347, which is the daily support. If the market managed to drop below this level, we will be looking for buying opportunity from the daily support. Let's mark that level here, which is the daily low. Daily support here, also daily support. Then you can see two of these important daily support here. Here is a liquidity grab, a big drop, pullback, liquidity grab, and again multiple times. Here is a liquidity grab, drop again and again, which is showing that potential trend continuation here in this market to this key level of support. For an entry to the downside here, expecting the market to trend back down to this level to create a new lower low. with this multiple liquidity trigger here in that area. Now the price is below this support. As with this move early, so today's high here to this level and today's low at 3343 level. Market open at 3347. These are important level that we are looking at for a potential retest. And if the market drop to that level, which is the zone that we can look for possible rejection back to the upside, as daily low is quite important. Buy at 3353. I wouldn't go yet. For buying, we will be waiting for the daily low and daily open. Not only that, as we are looking at the price on the 5 minutes, once the price drop to that daily low, daily support, that is where we want to see the market reverse again for a possible bounce to 3367 or 3368 level, to see if the market has moved back to that level here. There's a move, pullback, and like this one here, we can see the market has broken from the structure with one single move and return back again to the upside here. Trend is very important. If you look at here, which is key level, the market is breaking from that support level here. You can see it's this drop that we will not be yet opening, as we would like to see that it has come back below this level to this daily support, as from that level the chances for a rejection is higher. But at the same time, at any point we could see the market to return back again. For sell, we want to see the price has moved back here to the 4-hour resistance line. That's where we will be looking for sell if we want to sell, to see the price has tested that level. For buying, come back to the daily low. This is why sometime opening position requires a little patience. You guys have seen that many of the position that you open with patience from the important level come out to be successful trade. That is what we need, right? We don't need a lot of trade. You need 2 trades, 1 trade, and sometimes no trades, but more on in the direction. Trading mindset is very different than anything else, and that's why once JC Livermore in his book said that some trader more often think that they need to take home every day, because when people work, they at the end of the day, okay, during that, now people get paid monthly, weekly, but in his time more often people work day job, right? So they work from since in the evening, and then they take home from their payout, pay for bread and you know, like whatever they want to eat or take home something from the work. So when traders are not fully developed in their trading psychology, that mindset is still there. Okay, so when traders sitting on their desk, you need to completely abandon the expectation from the market. But when we sit 2 hours, 3 hours, we started to demand ourselves that I have spent 2 hours, 3 hours. I need to take something home from here. And then there is a pressure on the market to give us the trade. Most likely sometime we have, sometime we don't have. But the goal here as a trader is not to look for something immediately, but to wait, and whenever the market presented a trade, try to find out what are the reasons that you cannot take this trade. So there is a trade that will come that you cannot resist, because what you resist persist. And that's why the trade that you cannot resist, you can take those trades, and you'll see those trades will appear in the market more often. These are key areas to look at the position. For example, when the market is coming to break this daily low here, forming a reversal pattern, we can look for buy opportunity, especially sessions high, sessions low, sessions high in a downtrend, sessions low in an uptrend. These are the levels that you can look for. From the daily, you can see that this is a today's price so far showing the daily move, bullish move, and therefore breaking below on the daily time frame is a very important area that we can look for buying here in this market. Today we have Trump's peak. I hope it can break this sideways. It can definitely. This is the market mover, and what I take those events, as I mentioned earlier, they are catalyst. So what they might do is those events more often take that price to an extremely low or high level, and it deviate from this in actual value a lot, where it becomes freshly ready to buy or sell. For example, a spike can cause here the market to go back to the daily low to be able to buy, or going back to the high on the 4-hour resistance to be able to sell. I'm not rigid in becoming a buyer or seller, because in both directional trade we can open, and that's where keeping the open mind and waiting for the right opportunity. You'll see that more often my trading plan opens the door for both buyers and sellers, because you don't know until you know, right? That's why I say that you don't know what you don't know. You don't know until it opens. Like the Schrodinger's cat experiment, right? Which is the probability. If you want to know the probability, if you want to be a trader, sometime even more often I think of the quantum probability, right? That happens currently. Being a trader is understanding the probability. When the trade is taken, there is always a chance of winner and also chance of loser. So when you understand the probability, it becomes much easier. And when you are in the probability, when you are looking at the Schrodinger's cat that inside the box, before the box is open, the cat is in superposition. What do you mean by this? Is a huge understanding of everything that you see around you. That means tomorrow didn't arrive yet. The box has not opened yet. It's in superposition of past, present and future at the same time. Until you take the trade, until the trade is going to hit your profit target, it's in superposition of being a loser and winner at the same time. That is understanding probability. The only thing that you can do increase your winning rate is to look at back to the statistics. But one single trade is an unique trade, independent of the past results. 100%, no doubt about it. And then, why it is important to know the probability is to do the risk management, because you know that it's anytime can be a losing trade or can be a winning trade. So now here is what we can see in that area. Slowly Xauusd pushing back down here. It just crossed that 30 minutes resistance line, getting that rejection back again. We see there is a possibility for a downtrend here. There's a 30 minutes candle closing here on the lower time frame, 1 minute price action as well. There is a breakdown here with a liquidity gap. Now there is a short-term opportunity arises here in this market for possible sell opportunity here for 27 pip to 28 pip. I'm looking at here to see if we can find an entry in this market. So I'm going to sell this market with this 5 minutes price action with few pips stop loss to this order block, to this fair value gap. There's a fair value gap here. Though the market is in a very sharp downtrend, we can see on the 1 minute chart it's creating that rejection back below here with this leg to the upside for this stop loss, expecting the market to penetrate below here to this fair value gap. And for that potential move back below, I am opening sell from that level. Can sell on Xauusd for a possible downtrend here. This is a very sharp drop, very fast move. It's a quick trade. Possibility for a drop here, and at the same time we see there is a possible rejection also possible in this market. From the 15 minutes we can see that there is a potential support test here in this market. From the 5 minutes that you can see, there is a bearish engulfer, and 1 hour 20 EMA retest here. This is a very tight stop loss, and it dropped back below here, and I'm looking to see some possible pip gain. And once we see the market drop well below here, I'll be taking the profit as soon as I can, for as it is a very short term sell trade for this order block, and I'll be explaining the strategy and education, so don't miss out, guys. Stick till then. First of all, we'll look to see where this trade is potentially be heading to, as it's a very tight stop loss. Anytime we could see the market to bounce back to the upside, and I'm okay with that. It's a short term move that waiting to see the market to hit back below here. So you can see there is a rejection here on the lower time frame. Has bounced back to the upside for potentially another liquidity grab. Okay, like to see that getting the rejection back below to fill that zone here, and like to see the downtrend continuation here in this market. We'll be looking to see the 5 minutes price action, a liquidity candle. With a 5 minutes doji formation here. The question is the market is breaking back below here, or getting the rejection back again to the upside. Cool. There is a 1 minute head and shoulder potentially, and to see the the market is maintaining that downtrend here, or getting back again, push back to the upside, or breaking below to the support level. Right, there is a 15-minute candle close coming up here, and this is a very interesting structure formation here in this area. I'd like to see the market to potentially trend down here in this area to possibly to break that low. Now it may break to the upside here as well, so the risk managed is fully. And if this market is not trending here, that you will be looking to see possibly to bounce. Now we see that there is a 15 minutes close coming in 2 minutes time, and that candle, this is the lowest of this candle. Would like to see it's heading back below on the 5-minute chart here, also showing potential bearish market structures that we're expecting to break the low here and crossing that low. And I believe if you guys entered this trade, definitely it's in a good entry, and you know, as soon as you will see that profit running in that area for at least to 14, 15 or 18 pip move, if we see that running profit, we can take that trade as with the 30 minutes close and the 15 minutes close. It's a bear market, and would like to see that it penetrated that support before we look for any profit taking here. The market in a support level here, and this is a, if we look at the previous session's low, which is in the order block, and we're seeing a sell 5 minutes candle to close for possible drop. This is the 15 minutes also closing, and so there's a 15 minutes candle close here with a liquidity grab in that area, and that candle formation is with a back-to-back 5 minutes, and the 1 minute looking at here, it might now forming an inverted head and shoulder, could bounce back to the upside. On the 15 minutes that we can see, there is a liquidity grab, and like to see if this market is heading for another drop or going back again for another bounce back to the upside here. This is a very narrow zone that we can see. Still in a very narrow area. Right, so the price is trying to push back from the 5 minutes price action here, and so it's pushing back again to the upside in this area, and we'll be waiting for, I think we might see now possible bounce back to the upside. We see there is a rejection from this level, from the 1 hour, from this support, again moving back to the upside. Here is, we will be looking for the re-entry once we see the market has managed to break to the upside, as 4 hour price action here also getting a rejection. There's a W formation here. We might see that the market to retest back again. From this order block, from this support level, this is a liquidity grab here in that area. The market, what I think, it's going back again for possibly another retest of this 30 minutes resistance to potentially come back again. So the 30 minutes resistance, and it's forming a 5 minute spin bar. This is where I will be looking for short opportunity again for this possible drop back below again from this level, as with 25 pip stop loss. As you can see, all my trade, I have very tight stop loss. There is a potential for a break below here again for this move in this market. So I am on the second trade, as so I'm selling on this level at 3357 with stop loss at 3359.50, TP target at 3352.94, and this is where I'm placing the stop loss at 3359.50, as the market has overextended here on the 30 minutes. This is liquidity grab, expecting it to reject back again to this support level, and there is a 5 minutes doji here that you can see. It bounced again back to the upside in this area. So to attempt, we'll be waiting to see how it is doing with a very tight stop loss here, and for our price action that you can see, I'll be waiting a little more time for the market to rearrange. bounce from the trend line. I think it's going back for that. If you look at the 4-hour resistance here, delete those levels, and here is, this is a rejection. We might see the market, this is the 4-hour candle close coming, and before the candle close now, possibly to retest and then to return back again to the support level. This move that you can see, one single move now, could go back up to 3364. This is a primary move back to the upside on gold, and from the 4-hour and from the daily, it's getting very sharp bounce. Here's a move back to the upside here in this market with this move. This is the previous swing high here, and so the 4-hour resistance is here in this level, and this is the previous, this is the session's high. As we see, the price is approaching that level. The possibility for this market to, after retest, to come back again to this support level is higher. So from the 4-hour chart here that you can see, the candle is closing in a couple of minutes, and we can see that from here a rejection before the candle close, but I think the price to retest again this low is higher. So from that perspective, if we look at, here's a move back to the upside here with a single move, and once the market reaching that 3364, From that 3364 is the 4-hour resistance. From that level, expecting it to return back again in this direction here. And that move that we can see on the lower time frame, we see the price has reached a key level. Slowly getting that rejection back below here on Xauusd, and that rejection from the 50 minutes, if we look at, we can see the prices from this resistance line coming down here, and we'll be waiting for the 4-hour close to see the market is trending back below here. And that trend, if you look at here, is the lower time frame, showing a potential break of structure. Here is the move on the lower time frame on Xauusd, slowly building the pressure back to the upside, and would like to wait for the market to show its hand in that area. This is an important support. And I think 50 minutes close coming, and then we could see the price to potentially drop again for another liquidity gap. Here is the key level, because as the market approaching the daily high, today's price so far has shown from this support significant bullish move. If the price going to the high again, we could see that another retest of the low before it potentially move back to the upside for a potential trend change or coming down again. So ultimately it's going back to that 4-hour level that we are talking about, to this resistance line, and there's a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA with a pin bar. I don't understand the gold movement today. Gold on the daily we see an uptrend, and on the lower time frame we have seen a downtrend here in that area. Slowly from this support it reached that to that key level. It's on the daily we see that uptrending move here on gold, and from the lower time frame, we see that there was a drop back below to this support level. It's bounced back to the upside again. So it's a long-term trend is up here in this market. And looking at here in this area on gold, and with this bounce here, you can see 4-hour chart, the price has reached that level. With this 1 hour and the lower time frame from the 1 minute and also the lower time frame, here we can see the market now it crossed that key level. 4-hour resistance is tested. The possibility for before the candle close to come back here to this order block is, there is a probability here. And so if you look at here, you can see the lower time frame. This is the 1 minute price action where it's getting a reaction from the high, and there is a 5 minutes candle close coming, which is a pin bar potentially. And here I would like to open a sell stop here in this area for this possible drop back below, keeping stop loss above this high, and to potentially the market to come back here to this support level. It passed that level. The market moves very fast, that we can see that on the lower time frame. If you look at the 5 minutes here, you can see this is a pin bar, and there is a rejection very highly from the top on the 5 minutes that you can see, and the possibility for the market. So basically our stop loss will be above this 5 minutes candle. TP target to this level for potential drop here to this lower time frame in that area, and placing a sell here on Xauusd after the 5 minutes candle close, expecting the market to drop back again to the direction of the trend. So here, if we look at the 1 minute in this area, from the 4-hour also there is a rejection from the high, and so the sell stop here, sell stop in that area 3360.88. Now the possibility, if the market, you can see it crossed that high and the sell stop placed at this level now, which is a pending order, with this one here nearly to 37 pips stop loss. If the market drop back below, break that low here, we are on the trade. And before the 4-hour close, we have 8 minutes to go. If the market potentially drop down here, that is where we are looking to sell. Otherwise we might see the market potentially continuing back to the upside here. So 2 5 minutes candle that we can see it formed, and with the 4-hour close, if it is closing as a narrow doji, we could see that bounce here. Depending on how the price action has formed is important, because if the market continues to rise here, it may bounce back to this 3367 level before the 4-hour close. It still can continue to drop, still there is a possibility. May continue to uptrend, or with the 4-hour close is important, because if the 4-hour close is coming as a doji, there is the bounce with a very stronger momentum. And if we look at the overall, if we look at the 1 minute, the price has broken back to the upside with the 4-hour close. The 5 minutes price action also form a bullish candle. If this market coming back below straight down here, we will be on the trade. Otherwise, with the 4-hour close, we still can see the continuation to the upside. With that being said, here on Xauusd, the candle close coming on the 4-hour chart, and that 4-hour candle close, if it is a doji, are we seeing another drop here? There's a 10 and 20 MA retest here, and showing that possibly move back to the upside further. So we have to wait for the candle close here on the 4-hour chart. Let's wait to see how the candle is closing, as it formed a pain bar here, which is a bullish pain bar, and from the 1 hour we can see a bullish engulfer, from the 4 hour a doji. I think there's a potential head and shoulder here on the lower time frame, and okay, so you can see there's a 4-hour close with a doji formation on the intraday, and that doji that we can see here in that area form this bullish engulfer on the lower time frame. And what I think, the price may come back here for a weak fill and potentially to fill on this 4-hour doji long wick before it possibly to go back up or come back here for deeper liquidity gap. And as of here today, we see that very important trading day tomorrow coming up, PPI as well. Here what I think now, possibly the market to have a downtrend continuation for lower time frame from the daily high. So the 4 hour here, there is a doji, and it may try to fill that gap here and then to potentially turn the market little confused because of the trend change on the daily, potentially from this level, and could see that daily trend continuation to the upside here. So lower time frame, once we see the price has come back well below here, we will be looking for bullish entry as we see the market sentiment changes, the trend potentially to be bullish for some period of time. And here is what I think, the price may go back up to break any of this swing high here. And in this lower time frame, once we see suitable entry, we'll be looking into the buy trade as soon as we find suitable price action confirmation. That being said, again guys, we'll see you again trading live tomorrow. Here we are waiting for another entry opportunity. As soon as you will find that, coming up tomorrow, another important trading day. I'll see you there again, trading live together. Here the market penetrated back again, which could continue to create a bullish market structure. That being said, I'll see you again trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.